So good day, everyone. Our topic for today is about multiple intelligence, a framework for intellectual development created by Dr. Howard Gardner from Harvard University in 1983. Dr. Gardner explains that intelligence is not limited to just one type, just like IQ, but that people have different kinds of intelligence or smarts. Kaya naman, bawat isa sa atin ay may kanya-kanyang talino or strength. So in the slides 2, no, so the intelligence is more than a single cure. So nakadagay dito the theory of multiple intelligence developed by Dr. revolution the field of intellectual development by challenging the traditional notion of single standard intelligence or RQ. So first is the beyond the IQ. So suggest that intelligence is not one single monolithic ability but rather a collection of distinct capabilities. So it means that intelligence is not just one ability but collections of different capabilities. Second is the diverse potential. Diverse potential recognizes and validates various humans' potentials, the academic, artistic, social, physical, and emotional skills. Um, we have all different talents. Some are good in academic, others are sports or emotion. So, maing ganina ni Dr. Gardner ganina na natay kanya-kanyang talino. So, kung di tayo magaling dito sa academic, baka magaling tayo sa sports or magaling tayo sa art. So, di ba? The third one is, or the last one is the unique profiles. Every individual possesses of a unique blend of this intelligence. So, making each person smart in their own way. So, every person has a unique mix of this intelligence. Kaya naman, we are all smart in our own way. So, example, like me, I'm not good in mga academic ayo, but siguro when it comes to skills, ay maka-adapt na yun ko dali kaysa sa academic. So, mo nang basic example, ana. Like, kung dili ka hawd, ani na part, baka diri sa pikas, wata ka balo, right? How di ka diraa, dali ka maka-adapt diraa, mas diri ani mo siya, tas diri ka 40 na sector, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, hindi lang dapat basihan ang mataas na IQ para masabihan kang matalino. Baka hindi ka magaling sa math, pero magaling ka naman sa music, sa people skills, or sa art. That's also an intelligence. The third slides, the 9 dimensions of intelligence. First is the linguistic, means words of smarts, logistics, mathematical, or number smarts, spatial or picture smarts, bodily kinesthetic, body smart, musical or music smart, interpersonal or people smart, and intrapersonal or self smart, naturalistic or nature smart, and the existential or life smart. So mo na ang 9 dimensions of intelligence. So this shows that intelligence is one size fits all. We can be intelligent in many different ways. Kaya wag natin i-compare ang sarili sa iba kasi baka iba talaga ang type ng intelligence ng isa't isa. So in the third slide, this is about cognitive and creative intelligence. So, and dito sa linguistic, word smarts, logical, mathematical, or number smarts, and spatial or picture smarts. So the first one is we have the linguistic or word smarts. The capacity use language effectively, both written and oral, for expressions and communications. The case skills are writing, reading, and storytelling, public speaking. So the careers that pwede mong makuha with this kind of intelligence is being a writer, journalist, editor, and a teacher. So people strong in this area are good with words. They are love reading, writing, storytelling. So magaling sila sa mga ganito. So bagay lang talaga sa kanila, ay like, bagay talaga sila maging isang writer kasi more in towards yung writing journalist, the editor, the teachers. So, the second one is the logical, mathematical, or number smart. So, the ability to analyze problems, solving, logically carry out mathematical operations, and investigate issues scientifically. So, they are good at reasoning, problem solving, and numbers. So, the case skills are analyzing, solving problems, and, mali. So the case skills are reasoning, problem solving, pattern recognitions, abstract thinking. So pwede mo makuha na career dito with having logical, mathematical, or number smart is being scientist, engineer, programmer, and accountant. So the third one of the cognitive and creative intelligence is the spatial pictures more. So, nakalagay dito, no? Involves the potentials, recognize, and manipulate the patterns of wide space and more confined areas. So, the key skills are the visualizing, drawing, interpreting maps, and spatial reasoning. So, there are visual thinkers who understand things better through image and pattern. So, the careers na pwede ninyo makuha or ma-apply na siya na kind of skills as architect, artist, pilot, interior designer. So, sa madaling sabi, may mga taong mas matalino sa salita, may iba sa numero, at may iba naman sa imahe o creativity. Lahat yan ay valid o mahalaga.
Good day, everyone. I'll be discussing physical, auditory, and social intelligence. This focus on how we interact with our body, sounds, and other people. First is bodily kinesthetic intelligence, or body smart. It's about using your body effectively to solve problems or create something. People with this intelligence are often dancers, athletes, actors, or surgeons. Next is musical intelligence or music smart. This is the ability to recognize rhyme, tone, and pitch. Those who are music smart are usually musicians, singers, or composers. Last, interpersonal intelligence or people smart. This means understanding and communicating well with others. People with these skills are often teachers, counselors, salesperson, or leaders because they can sense other emotions and motivations. Reflective, environmental, and philosophical intelligence. First, we have intrapersonal intelligence or self-smart. This intelligence is all about self-awareness. It's the ability to understand your own thoughts, emotions, and goals. People with this intelligence often reflect deeply and are very independent. They can be researchers, philosophers, or entrepreneurs because they know themselves well and can make decisions based on self-understanding. Next is naturalistic intelligence, also known as nature smart. These people love the nature world. They can easily recognize and categorize plants, animals, and natural patterns. They are often concerned about the environment and enjoy being outdoors. Careers that fit them include biologists, farmer, conservationists, or geologists. And lastly, we have existential intelligence or life smart. This one focuses on the deeper meaning of life. People with existential intelligence like to ask being questions such as, why are we here? What is our purpose? They can often become geologians, philosophers, or theoretical scientists, exploring life's biggest mysteries. Maximizing potential, the importance of MI theory. Let's talk about the multiple intelligence or MI theory helps maximize our potential. Applying this theory can change how we teach, learn, and even how we understand ourselves. First, respect individual differences. It reminds us that everyone learns differently, so there's no one size fits all way to learn. And second, promotes holistic learning. Teachers can create lessons that use different intelligence, like adding music, art, or movement, so learning becomes more engaging and inclusive. Third, discover personal strengths. By knowing which intelligence we are strongest in, we can build confidence and use the strength to our advantage. And lastly, guides career paths. When we understand our intelligence profile, we can choose careers that match our natural abilities, making it easier for us to grow and succeed.
So, chapter 7, learning skills and learns on how we can improve the way we learn by understanding both how we learn and what affects our learning process. It is also explained that learning doesn't act or end when school ends. Instead, it's something that continues throughout life. We can also learn that each person has a unique learning style, and knowing yours can help you study more effectively and efficiently. There are 5 continuous learning. First, learning never stops even after formal education. So even when finish school or college, learning doesn't stop there. So it means kanang dagan pa itag ma-learn, we continue learning through like sa work, sa atong relationship o sa atong mga experience. Then second, it is not restricted to age or grade. Dili siya base sa ato ang age, kung pilang ato ang age. Learning is not just for also sa children or students. Even older people keep learning. Like for example, sa technologies, makita na to sa ato ang mga inikanan, gilearn pa og kanang mga basic kuan sa cellphone, basic pinutunan pa sa mga cellphone, like nga galearn pa sila. Then third kay people constantly learn new things daily. So every day we learn something new, sometimes without realizing it, like from handling daily tasks, solving problems, to dealing with other people, like yan. Then for example po sa kanang mga classroom. Fourth kay many attend colleges, seminars, or read books to improve themselves. So people continue workshops, like sa ang mga fourth year karon ga continue mi og kanang buhat mi og kanang mga workshop. Then also by joining courses, attending or reading books to develop our skills or their skills and knowledge, that ma-show na mo nga ang education is lifelong journey siya. So it means dagan tag ma-learn through things, not a one-time event, not just a one-time event. Then ang fifth kay learning continues through daily observations and activities. Like we can learn by simply observing others, listening to experiences, or reflecting on our own actions. Everyday experiences are powerful, that teaches us and to help us to grow and understand the world better. For importance of lifelong learning, there are lots that you need to learn. The first one is learning continues at every age, even at 60 or beyond. So learning doesn't stop at a certain age as long as a person is alive. Like they have the ability and opportunity na dagan pa sila ma-learns na na something new na like for example mga smartphone, mga new language, or developing a hobby. Then second, it helps also people keep up with societal and technological changes. The world keeps changing. For our generation karon makita nato na ang world kay change siya through with new technologies, mga new systems and new ideas na mas makagain sa ato na mas modern na taong daghan nga mga relevant na like for example mga jobs, communities and personal lives. Then na mas makatabang sa ato to have a knowledge to continue what kung unsa man ang maka-help sa ato through lives. Then third, kay learning is not just about school subjects but it's about our everyday experiences too. So it means learning includes everything we experience in life, from managing finances, building relationships, solving problems, to understand emotions. Real life learning is just as important as academic learning. There are 5 purposes of learning. First, learning is more than passing exams or getting good grades. The true purpose of learning is not just to memorize and pass. So it means it is also to understand nga ma-apply o ma-use nato through knowledge that meaning nga makatabang sa ato and to help us to make better decisions and improve oneself. Second is the learning gained today helps in career planning, business, and relationships. So it means kung sa imo ang natuman karon nga adlaw, it can be used in the future or at work or raising a family or running a business or maintaining a relationship nga mas makagain sa imo og knowledge to come up an idea that become or that holds you to learn becomes a tool for success. Lastly, knowledge remains valuable throughout life. So it means ang knowledge kay dili na siya mawala. It remains valuable, like for example knowledge nimo dati kay magamit pa nimo karon, like mga ingat. Third, kay knowledge remains valuable throughout life. So it means ang knowledge never din na siya lose, it remains valuable. So even if you learn something new years ago, there are big impact that kato imo na learn is makatabang sa imo today or in every situation. Pointers for effective learning. Keep yourself prepared. So it means always prepare before attending a class, like reading the topic in advance so you'll have a basic idea of what will be discussed kung unsa man i-discuss sa mga teacher. Then also being prepared helps you to understand the lesson faster and remember the information better. Second, be organized. So as a student, dapat yun na when arranging mo ang mga gamit, like for example sa imong mga notes kay para for the exam easy ra kayo nimo makita ang mga pointers and para ma-reduce po stress during exams. Lastly, be punctual. So arriving on time helps you settle down and focus better. So mas sayo ka kaysa mali. And also it shows respect for the class and especially to your teacher. And also, being punctual.
What are learning styles? Learning styles are theories that explain how people prepare to learn and remember information. Ibig sabihin, bawat tao ay may sariling paraan ng pagkatuto. May iba naman matuto kapag nakikita nila na may iba naman kapag naririnig o kapag ginagawa nila mismo. What identify your learning style? It's important to know your learning style because it is help you understand how you to learn best. Kapag alam mo kung anong style mo, mas madali kung makaka-adapt sa pag-aaral mo. You can take techniques that if your style like writing notes, creating mind maps, using models, or reciting out loud. For example, kung visual learner ka, mas effective sa'yo ang pag-aaral gamit ang picture, no charts. Pero kung auditory learner ka, mas gusto mo yung mas discussion or narinig ng explanations.
So, what are the different learning styles? The different learning styles are visual, auditory, read or write, and kinesthetic learning style. Each style shows how a person best understands and remembers information. First, we have visual learners. Learn best by seeing. They prefer using image, diagrams, charts, maps, and other visual to understand lessons. They like colorful notes and organized layouts because they help them remember better. Second is auditory learners. Auditory learn through listening and speaking. They understand lessons better when they hear them such through discussions, lectures, or recordings. Repeating information out loud also helps them remember. Third is read or write learners. Learn by reading and writing. They enjoy reading textbook, making notes, and rewriting informations to review. They prefer learning through words and written materials. Last is the kinesthetic learner. Learn by doing. They like hands-on activities, experiments, and real-life experience. They remember lessons better when they can move, touch, or practice what they are learning.
In this topic, we will discussing about interpersonal. So what is interpersonal skills? Interpersonal skills is the abilities that helps people to communicate and interact effectively with others. This is important in our daily life, especially in school, work, and social situation. These interpersonal skills can help people to connect with one another, resolving conflicts, and working harmoniously. Developing strong interpersonal skills can lead to better communication, teamwork, and understanding among people. What are the interpersonal skills include? Number 1, active listening, paying full attention when someone is talking. Number 2, leadership, guiding and inspiring others to reach a goal. Number 3, teamwork, working well with others to achieve a common goal. Number 4, motivation, inspiring yourself and others to do their best. Number 5, responsibilities, doing your duties and being accountable. Number 6, flexibilities, adapting to change or unexpected situation. Number 7, dependability, being reliable and trustworthy. Number 8, patience, staying calm and positive in a difficult situation. What is intrapersonal communication? This type of communication can help us to understand ourselves better and making wise decisions. It is important for us because it develops self-awareness and guiding decision-making. So, by understanding our own thoughts and feelings, we can communicate better with others and improve our action. In short, this process of communicating yourself through your thoughts, feelings, reflection, or self-talk. So what is the difference between interpersonal and intrapersonal? The word inter means between, while the word intra means within. So interpersonal involves interaction with people or communicating with two or more people, while intrapersonal is thinking and reflecting inside your mind, or self-communication, talking to yourself to decide what to do. So what is the difference between interpersonal and intrapersonal conflict? It lies who is involved in the conflict. So interpersonal conflict, a disagreement between two or more people. It usually happens between two people who have different opinion, needs, or goals. Like, you are not agree with the opinion with others. That's interpersonal conflict. While intrapersonal conflict, the struggle within yourself, usually about decisions or feelings, the struggle of deciding whether to follow your heart or your mind. That's intrapersonal conflict. How does interpersonal communication work? Interpersonal communication work by allowing two or more people to share information, ideas, and feelings through speaking, listening, gestures, and expression. It usually happens when a sender shares a message and a receiver listen and respond. In short, interpersonal communication works through clear message, active listening, and feedback to build understanding between people. Here's a few interpersonal skills that could help you in your interview or team project. Number 1, active listening, fully paying attention to what others say. Number 2, collaborative mindset, working well with others as a team. Number 3, clear verbal communication, speaking in a simple and understandable way. Number 4, positive attitude, showing friendliness and optimism. Number 5, receptive to feedback, accepting advice or criticism to improve.
Now, we are delving in understanding interpersonal skills. These are not something you can just learn from books. They are developed through practice. Some people naturally have them while others need to work on them. In workplace, people with good interpersonal skills are valued because they are helpful, friendly, and know how to adjust when talking to others. So next is the interpersonal skills in the job search. Employers look for these skills in resumes and interviews. The key examples include active listening, negotiation, public speaking, conflict management, and teamwork. This shows that you can work effectively with others. Improving interpersonal skills is best done through practice. Simple ways include showing appreciations and empathy, resolving disputes quickly, controlling your temper, and listening actively. Courses and training programs can also help. In the workplace, interpersonal skills are essential for negotiation, problem solving, and teamwork. Employers consider qualities like responsibility, empathy, communication, and dependability as core qualification for any employee. So why are they important? They are important because they reflect your ability to work well with others. They're important in interviews, in collaborative settings, and they balance technical skills with good communication. And lastly, how to improve interpersonal skills. So to improve interpersonal skills, you should attending workshops, build relationship through networking, reflect on your interactions, seek constructive feedback, and learn from role models and mentors. In conclusion, interpersonal skills help us connect, collaborate, and succeed. They are just important as technical knowledge in any workplace.